Hi everyone, Charles from the Food People here. I trust that you're safe and well. Our team of trend researchers here at the Food People have been busy analysing the current and future impact of COVID-19, and we've put together this special episode to look at the 10 biggest shifts within the food service sector. And by that we mean the full spectrum from street food, cafe, QSR, food halls, gastro dining through to high-end, and what we expect to see manifest in this COVID era. The COVID-19 pandemic is posing a staggering health and humanitarian challenge in all areas of life. But one sector that has been devastated is the food service and out-of-home sector. Sadly, we've seen many great brands and leaders of industry close their doors forever, some expected, some most definitely not. We've seen operators change their business models overnight, turning their hand to delivery, semi-prepared meal kits, selling basic provisions, shifting to a 100% delivery model, and of course, providing for frontline workers. These shifts have happened out of necessity, but as the industry emerges from lockdown, the creativeness, resilience, and ingenuity of the people within the industry is outstanding. The food service industry is rising up, and those that have survived will use this moment to rethink and reset for the COVID era consumer. What is clear though is that the pre-coronavirus business model will need to change in consideration of consumer behaviour, the high street dynamics, health, safety, capacity, real estate and legislation. I should say that many of the regulations around social distance, numbers of diners allowed into a venue at any one time vary from country to country. But what we've done is put together these top shifts for socialising and enjoying food out of home, where building trust around sanitation and social distance, as well as your ability to adapt and innovate, will be key. Let's start with Sanitise. Having a strict, well-documented and visible cleaning regime is going to be top of the list to attract anxious diners back. Not only is it imperative to show the cleanliness of the premises and staff, but also that steps are being taken to ensure that the guests are virus-free as well. Sanitise for now is the new sustainable. So what do we mean by this? Sanitising high-touch surfaces every 15 minutes. Perhaps cutlery sanitised in full view of the table, or indeed in pre-wrapped bags or packaging. Full body sanitizer mists or UV perhaps for guests as they enter the restaurant. Hand washing facilities and sanitisation on entry. Sanitisation theatre. Could we see a sanitizer sommelier offering a choice of hand gels curated from local distilleries? Bathrooms kept super clean, operating a one in, one out, red, green traffic light system to avoid person-to-person contact. And the visibility of highly trained teams of in-house deep cleaners, or indeed 24-hour robotic cleaning perhaps. Then we have protect. Although the look to most of us is alien, it's one that we're going to have to get used to. Highly visible PPE. Trying to protect staff and guests is imperative, as no food service operator wants a virus outbreak tracked and traced back to them. So how might this manifest? Waiting staff and chefs wearing face masks, face shields and other PPE. Only today on Tom Kerridge's social media, I saw an image of him sporting face masks that the chefs are going to be wearing in the kitchen. Waiting staff sanitising hands between tables. Guests to wear face masks until eating perhaps. Temperature checks for guests and staff. Contact details of all guests to be recorded in case of contact tracing in the event of an outbreak in the future. Then we have 3, distance. A reconfiguration of the flow of the outlet is needed to ensure that social distancing is enforced. Simple technology can be used to ensure a minimal touch environment, such as the contactless taking of orders via QR codes and also app-based smartphone payments. What could distance actually mean in practice? One door in and one door out, and clear routes through a particular establishment. Markers on the floor indicating one-way systems and clear signage and instructions. Fewer tables and the reduction of unnecessary floor decor to ensure maximum floor space. Menu QR codes on tables, ordering and paying with your smartphone, and of course single-use menus. Table service only, diners remaining seated. Perhaps perspex barriers between tables. We've also seen some humorous innovations, from bumper tables, guests inside giant rubber rings, diners wearing hats with pool noodles to encourage social distancing. Is it the end of communal tables and sharing menus? Then 4, we have reduce. The number of guests allowed in the confines of an outlet at one time will be drastically reduced, but longer opening and dining times could help overcome that. Logistics and the need to minimise waste may mean that there will be a reduction in the menu offer, but excitement that could be created with daily specials and delicious limited time offers, giving it a fresh vibe. Other ways in which this could manifest: booking only systems for tables, reducing the table size for smaller groups, reduce menu size, Small plates, but not necessarily sharing, could have a new relevance, aimed towards creating more approachable, affordable, and an overall faster dining experience. Perhaps more pre-ordered set menu items, again to minimize waste. Limited time offers to create hype around a signature ingredient or dish. Reduce food miles by supporting local farmers and producers. Tech-enabled capacity monitoring and new approaches to zero waste. And we have 5, no touch. Anxiety still being high, consumers are wanting to collect exactly what they're desiring, but with minimal human touch points, creating an easy and seamless journey, giving the diner the confidence to return time and again. But what could this actually look like? As we mentioned before, cashless order and payment systems, virtual waiting lines and arrival systems. We expect tech to make that contact free. Pick up from no-touch shelves and drop-down hatches in drive-through and street food. Pop open the boot to collect your restaurant-style dinner. Meals perhaps left in numbered outside heated or cooled lockers for you to collect. Overall, a shift to carry-out, drive-through and delivery. And then 6, at home. Many food service businesses have had to close or pivot quickly to survive, providing their food to customers in creative ways, which seems to have born a new business model, restaurants at home. The dark kitchen operating model has perhaps come into its own, not only hot finished dishes delivered, but semi-prepared dinner to finish food at home. Having access to the wheels or the means to deliver to the diner's location will be key into the future. How might at home play out? Food service at-home brands of your favourite restaurant. We've seen some brands innovating in this space already. The Savoy Grill, Woods in Manchester, the Hind Head, Merivale in Australia, to name but a few. Dinner in kit form or part made for you to finish at home. Branded provisions, restaurant branded meats, sauces and condiments in particular. Restaurant branded to cook for gourmet events at home, barbecue gatherings, dinner parties, afternoon teas. Branded packaging, serveware, cutlery, pots and bags. Creative communication of the provenance and origin of food to connect emotionally and at a human level is more important than ever right now. Dark kitchens preparing delivery only part prepared meals. Is this a whole new channel? Then we move to 7, diversify. In the 2008 financial crisis, the mantra was adapt to survive. And that is exactly what chefs did, changing menus from a structured 3 courses to sharing plates, all-day dining and restaurant-quality street food. This crisis has a different set of characteristics that food service will have to work around, but the mantra is very much the same. So how do we expect diversity to play out? The growth in agile, hybrid spaces, so restaurant, deli, to-go and delivery, all in one outlet. The shift to restaurant marts, the complete opposite of the grocerant. Collaboration with retail for restaurant-style chilled and frozen meals. A new channel, signature sauces and condiments online or in retail. Shifting of the food offer into a higher volume one. More conducive for delivery and social distance consumption. We've seen many opinion formers in food and drink over the last 3 months turn their hand to pizza, burger, barbecue or fried chicken, and things generally that are more difficult to do well at home. We expect city locations versus semi-urban locations to evolve. With human behaviour and work culture shifting so rapidly, there's a question as to which locations will be more desirable for out-of-home brands into the future. We expect there to be a drive for efficiency, becoming more efficient with preparation, execution, to-go packaging, and of course manpower. Owning your own delivery solution, perhaps moving away from the main delivery platforms as restaurants start to figure out how they manage their costs more tightly. Then we move to 8, experience. Restaurants have a cultural imprint on what it means to be alive almost. Restaurants are a place of connection, community, excitement and decadence that is very powerful. Food service has always been as much about the experience from the super high-end restaurant, which starts from the moment you book the table, to the friendly vibe in a pub or the experience of a drive-through fast meal or street food. As new regulations come into place, ensuring that you're creating a compelling experience-based journey will be key. What might this look like? Diners crave connection and will want it more than ever during the COVID era. We'll see a strong push towards more local farming and self-sufficient food systems. We expect to see food and wine stories in the restaurants or home delivery via video explaining the menu, the ingredients and the drinks to pair. More tablescaping for restaurants dine in at home. Curated music playlists to go with your takeout meal or kit. When staying in hotels, expect to see a surge in room service. Go-to-room solutions such as mobile hotel bars, including cocktails, drinks, and nibbles, and also drive-in food entertainment combos, so food in combination with drive-in cinema, comedy and theatre. Then we have 9, rethinking space. With the summer months coming, certainly in the northern hemisphere at least, and the great outdoors calling, we're all rushing to outdoor open spaces. With risks of infection said to be lower outside, so al fresco dining becomes the thing to aspire to. Optimizing space in the COVID era will be key. So how can you rethink space? We expect to see a greater focus on outdoor bars and beer gardens, pop-ups in car parks and garden centres, pedestrianised urban centres to create more space for leisure and social distance out-of-home food consumption, rooftop and balcony dining, micro-private dining rooms for smaller groups. We're also extending the reach of the location by extending Wi-Fi to new areas of the restaurant that aren't currently covered, and of course tech-enabled capacity monitoring. And then 10, automate. There has been incremental application of robotics in food service for a number of years, with prototypes catching the headlines, but now with a need for human distance and contact-free, the robotic world has been pushed into the very nearly here and now. From cooking and serving customers to keeping the premises immaculately clean, are we heralding a new age in automation? So what could this mean? Robotic vending machines providing safe, no-touch delivery of freshly cooked and chilled foods. Robotic bar staff, waiters and baristas. Automation of the kitchen, automated cooks and chefs. 24-hour automated cleaning systems. And also conveyor belts and conveyor belt systems used in the delivery of food. So in conclusion, every outlet's COVID-era business model will have to be fundamentally different to the one that's currently employed. This business model will have to change continually as the situation evolves. Pivoting in response to this will require rethinking what it means to be an out-of-home outlet in the first place. In this special episode, we've highlighted the 10 biggest shifts and manifestations that we expect to see in evidence in food service and out of home during the COVID era. By considering these shifts and how you as a business, brand, startup or entrepreneur adapt in consideration of them will mean that you're well positioned to succeed in this COVID era in food and drink. So join our community for the details of previous and upcoming episodes in this 12-part series and all of the latest food and drink trends foresight. Visit thefoodpeople.co.uk and complete your details at the footer of the page. Stay safe and keep well, and thanks for listening.